Hey, Revolution Church, it's Pastor Jeff. I'm so glad you're at church today. I really miss y'all. I'm in Oklahoma with our denomination at some meetings. So for our sermon today, I thought we'd actually take a little break from the 1 Corinthians series that we've been in for 20 weeks and actually pull up a sermon by a guy named Craig Groeschel. He's the pastor of Life Church in Oklahoma. He's got a sermon that I'd like you to see. It's a little different from what we normally do. Normally, we take one section of scripture and we dig in and go through verse by verse. I think that's probably the best way to learn most of the time, but this is a little more topical. He has written a book, and this sermon is kind of the first chapter, the first ideas of the book. I'd love for you to hear it. What he says here is really true, really important for you to understand. So I'd love you to take this information and grab hold of it. If you want to learn more about this, you can go to their website, which is life.church, and find the sermons. Or you can get his book. You can find his book on Amazon. As I said, this book was the inspiration for this sermon, and it's called The Power to Change, Mastering the Habits That Matter Most. The Power to Change, Mastering the Habits That Matter Most. You're going to have questions in your growth group that apply to you and this sermon, so make sure you get in your growth group this week as well. Guys, I'm excited to come back next Sunday. I'll see you soon, God willing. And I hope you take this whole thing to heart.
I wonder how many of you started in 2023 with something that you wanted to change in your life. Raise your hands if that's you. Why is it that you haven't changed? You're trying to meet a need, a real need in your life, or relieve a hurt with something besides God's grace. And that's why the same Apostle Paul, who said, I want to do the right thing, but I don't. Who can help me? Thank God Jesus can. And yet I'm the least of all these. I'm not good enough, I know that. But God's grace on me was not without effect. It changed me. And yet I still do everything, but it's not me, it's his grace through me. He is the one who said this about grace. Essentially, the same grace that saves you is the grace that changes you. He said, God said to him, my grace, when I am weak, his power is made perfect. And then if you mess up, remember, his grace saves, and his grace changes, and his grace forgives, and his grace strengthens, because this is not behavior modification, this is spiritual transformation.